Welcome back, everyone. It is July 13th, Sunday in baseball. We got 3 picks ready to go. As always, it is Austin. We're joined by our trusty friend, Logan, IRL. You guys saw yesterday's video. It was a disaster, but you know it wasn't a disaster, Logan? The picks, a little 3-0 sweep. You see Logan with the broom out over there, baby. We take that. Logan had a great call. Dodgers, Giants, first 5 under. There was 1 run. Then we had Braves, Cardinals over 9. Looked a little sweaty after there was no runs for a while, but we got those. And Framber didn't allow a single earned run. We take that, a 3-0 sweep. 12-1 run. Let's continue that on the final day before the All-Star break. We need another sweep. Let's try to get it done. And today we're doing a giveaway. Here's what we're doing. You got to go down below. You got to comment your favorite person to win the home run derby. Only one person. We will pick out 2 random people, give you $25 when we return on Friday, and we'll give the winners. So go down below, look at the home run derby people, comment. As long as you don't have to comment today. You could comment by the start of the home run derby, which I think is that Monday. I think it's a Monday. I don't really know. But comment your favorite person. We'll give away 2 people. Get it right. $25 on Friday. During the next week, I'll probably be posting some NFL future long shot videos. So stay tuned for that. We're still pumping out the content for you guys. Maybe not a video on Monday as I travel back home, but we'll figure that out. Logan, let's get into a 3-0 sweep today. And it begins with what have really been carrying the bankroll recently. That's been the first 5 picks. And once you know, we have 3 of them today. Let's talk about an under, though. We're talking about the Pirates and Twins, first 5 under, 5.5. Now, I went back and forth to taking the 4.5 versus 5.5. I like both of them. At minus 140, it's a little juicy. I get that. I'd rather take that. You can take the 5 if you want, or maybe you do a half unit on 4.5, which is like plus 110, and maybe a half unit on the 5.5 at minus 140 to minus 160. I'll just do the 1 unit here on Mitch Keller and as Simeon Woods Richardson to go out there and dominate. Now, it would be on brand if SWR guy. We faded a few times this season. Obviously screws us this game, but I really think he's in for a great match, and I'll touch on both those 2 fellas and why I think this is a lower scoring game. Then I'll throw it to Logan for his favorite pick. When you look at this series, you've seen some high scoring games, especially yesterday. You saw a ton of runs, but I think these 2 guys can go in there and just dial on in and not allow a lot of base runners. Let's talk about Mitch Keller first. Now, you look at Keller. He's been actually better on the road. I don't know why, but 3.09 ERA. What I like is he's great against righties, 205 batting average. If you saw yesterday, you were on Twitter, Byron Buxton cycle. That man had 11 bases yesterday, 5 for 5. Obviously, he's a righty. We need to hold those guys in check. And if the lefties are going to beat us, guys like Matt Wallner, Willie Castro had a big day yesterday, Cody Clemens, like Brooks Lee, Larnick, like I'm willing to live with those guys beating us, but we can get Byron Buxton out and get maybe Ryan Jeffers, who's been seeing the ball really well recently, out. I feel pretty good about getting it done. And we see Keller, first time through the order, 224 batting average, second time, 238. Hopefully we don't have to see a ton of the third time through. And if we do, we're probably already cooked. But Keller, what's been his name of the game, just like Paul Skeens, no run support. That's been his thing. I mean, he has a great ERA, not a lot of wins to his name. He's allowed 2 or fewer earned runs in 5 straight. I think he pitched well. Then we turn it over to SWR, who's been one of the best pitchers in baseball, knock on wood, as of late. His last 5 starts, 1.38 ERA, 6th lowest in baseball during that time span. We know the Pittsburgh Pirates are a very suspect offense in July. Last in batting average, last in WRC plus versus righties. They own the third lowest hard hit percentage, 6th highest ground ball percentage. All these things combined together to say, I think this is a lower scoring game. Maybe the full game goes over. I don't really care about that. 9 total. I think it's 5.5 is a great line of minus 140. I think that probably closes closer to minus 180. I'd probably take it up to maybe minus 150 or 60, and then I'd probably call it there. Maybe just sprinkle on the 4.5 and 5.5. Like I said, 4.5 was plus 115. I'll buy the extra run on a Sunday, but normally I probably wouldn't recommend doing that full season long. But I do think that this is a winner, first 5 under. But just because we have an under doesn't mean we can't have an over. I'm throwing to our Logan. He's cooked up and over. Logan, take it away.
Oh, yeah, I'm sliding right in here for my over. And it's going to be in the first 5 innings as well. And I am rolling with.
I forgot to change yours. He's got this. He got it. There you go.
I'm rolling with here in Fenway, the Rays and Red Sox. First 5 over 4.5, minus 115 odds on Bet365 is your best value. Now, yesterday we saw a comically low scoring game, right? The Rays were shut out full game by Crochet. This game should see some early runs, not like yesterday, and more like that Friday game that we saw. Let's talk about who's starting for the Red Sox today. It's going to be Brian Bayo starting for the Red Sox. Now, Brian Bayo, coming off a masterclass, he's 3.27 ERA, 1.3 WHIP, 9 innings pitched, 2 earned run, complete game, a masterclass. It doesn't get much better than that, except for if you were to shut out. but he faced the Rays back in June, went 6 1/3 innings, pitched 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them were earned runs. So the Rays have seen him, or the Rays have seen him before, and they've been able to hit him before. They put up 3 runs on him in the first 5, which would be great to see again today. I think the Rays offense is one of those offenses that likes to attack early. If they don't really get it going early, I'm not really sure that they're going to get it, full game. So that's why I am targeting a first 5, and I would rather just limit it to both these two starting pitchers because Bayo's expected numbers are not that great. 31st percentile on expected ERA, 28th percentile on expected batting average. All that to say, I think Brayan Bello, whenever he has a masterclass, if you fade him in his next start, I would say you're kind of going in line with what the numbers are telling you. And for a pitcher that relies heavily on ground ball outs, the Rays are great at hitting where the defense isn't. I mean, Austin and I saw it Friday. There were several times where the Rays would just hit it right through the gap, right in right field, right through the gap. And that's what I want against a pitcher like Brayan Bello that really does rely on ground ball, soft contact outs. But the Rays can kind of counter that with the great hitting offense that they are. I think they put up some hits and runs up on Brayan Bello early. And then on the other side, it's going to be Ryan Pepiot starting for the Rays, 3.32 ERA and a 1.14 whip for Ryan Pepiot. Now, Ryan Pepiot faced the Red Sox twice this season, 5 2/3 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 6 innings pitched, 6 earned runs. The Red Sox scored 2 and 6 in the first 5 of those 2 starts. So the offense was able to get going early, which is what I want to see with a first 5 over. Like, did it take them several pitches or several plate appearances to finally get to Pepiot? No. And that's good for a first 5 over because I don't want it to be into the 6th when they finally figure out how to hit this guy. And Pepiot, unlike Bello, typically doesn't induce soft contact. I mean, when this guy gets hit, it's hard. 34th percentile in barrel percentage, 36th percentile in hard hit percentage. When you pitch at a hitter-friendly ballpark like Fenway can play, we should see some hard hit extra base hits for this Red Sox lineup. They're a very talented lineup, 1 through 9. And I really like what they've been able to do. I mean, yesterday, obviously, they didn't give Crochet a ton of run support to work with, but they were still, a good offense for most of the series. They're a good performing offense at Fenway. And then last point to note is just kind of like situationally. This is a very, very tight division. It could see several playoff teams, from this AL East. So are these games they can afford to drop? No. What I always worry about going into the All-Star break is teams kind of coasting, maybe playing with their food a little bit. I think we're going to see very aggressive, very, hard played game in this one. And I think the starting pitching simply won't be enough to really keep these two offenses down. So I think we get a lot of runs going early in this one. Love this as my favorite pick, but Austin has one more. He's hopping in the seat.
We got one more, and we need to wrap up the 3-0 sweep, and we're going to an under. Now, Logan touched on a divisional over. The 2 games I've been touched on, these teams don't really see each other a ton. Let's talk about this one. Final pick of the day, final pick before the All-Star break. Mariners, Tigers, first 5 under, 4.5 minus 130. Now, if you've been backing some unders in this series, GG to your bankroll, as there has been not a lot of great pitching in this one. But I think Logan Gilbert and Jack Flaherty is probably one of the best matchups we could see. And I really think these 2 pitchers can go out there and deal. What I really like about them, they have the swing and miss stuff. Now, George Kirby yesterday, he didn't pitch too great. Not a great swing and miss guy. Neither is Casey Mize. But these 2 guys, I'll touch on their splits, can go out there and shove. And I think they can do just that. So I like the first 5 under. Let's talk about these 2 pitchers a little bit more, and then I'm going to get on out of your hair, and I'll leave you guys alone. I'm sorry if you missed the pixels. I miss them too. Like I said, in the series, we've seen 15 and 22 runs combined in the first 5, and then 11. I mean, to keep that offense going for a 3rd straight game is kind of hard to do. And we've seen, like I said, Gilbert has been one of the best pitchers last year. This year's dealt with some injuries, but you still look at his expected numbers, 90th or better percentile in expected batting average, ERA, chase percentage, whiff percentage, K percentage, 83rd in walk percentage. So not giving up free base runners and getting the swing and miss, which is important because we think about Logan's pick yesterday, first 5 under. You had guys on 2nd and 3rd with, I think, no outs, and we were able to get out of there with only 1 run. And that's because you need to get those swing and misses. And we've seen Logan Gilbert do that time and time again. He is coming off a bad start, 4 earned runs. I think he bounces back here against the Tigers. Then Jack Flaherty had a terrible June. Had a couple starts in there that was like, oh, this guy forgot how to pitch. But recently he's been better. His last 3, and 2 earned runs. At home, a 3.7 ERA, 192 batting average allowed. And what I said, he's great about Logan Gilbert, the K percentage. So is Jack Flaherty, 89th percentile in K percentage. Look, we've seen the Mariners put up some runs on some guys. We've seen them do it before. But they've also struggled in some spots against guys that have that swing and miss. We saw Paul Skeens. And I get it. Paul Skeens, one of the best pitchers in baseball. Went out there, 5 shutout innings, 10 Ks. Will Warren didn't get a ton of Ks, but he had the threat of that swing and miss. Got out there, 5 innings shutout. Now, sure, they got the Casey Mize, but I don't really consider Casey Mize a strikeout guy. Jack Flaherty can go out there and do it. You look at both these two pitchers, a heavily juiced 17.5 outs line, or at least a 17.5 outs line, a 2.5 earned runs line at plus 120 or higher for both of them. And then both guys have a 6.5 K prop. So again, they're thinking these guys could get 5, 6, 7 Ks. I think they can do that, and hopefully they can get them in good situational spots. So love the under in the first 5 years. This kind of been a system, just like we talked about the Dodgers and Giants game yesterday, at a ton of runs the game before. Snooze fest that whole game. Then you talk about this Mariners Tigers game. It's been a ton of runs so far through the series, and then the bats just dry up when people are all on the over. I think this is a good spot. So to recap the card, look, here we go. Pirates and Twins, first 5 under. That's a winner. Then we have your pick, Rays and Red Sox, first 5 over. Don't get it twisted, first 5 over. And Mariners and Tigers, first 5 under. Let's go back to, I don't know how many sweeps we've had in a row. 12-1 run is legit. Let's try to do it again. Again, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Like I said at the top of the show, go down below. You comment the person you think is going to win the home run derby. We'll do a $50 giveaway. Do it. We'll announce those winners on Friday. Have a great day. I'll see you guys in some NFL future videos in a little bit. It's Austin Logan signing out. Sorry if you missed the pixels. I can get those back for you on Monday if you see. See you guys in the next one. Peace.